Welcome, everyone, to Generation Dragons, episode 25. Steve and I are back together. Back together.
Again. Cheers, man. Good to see you.
Yeah, you as well, you as well. So, Steve, I guess I should start off with everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in for the last few weeks. It's great that Steve and I are back together. We're hopefully going to be recording most of our little get-togethers, more so. Now we've got everything set up nice and pretty. As always, if you like what you're listening to and watching, click subscribe and or subscribe on your audio podcasts.
All the major ones, and all that. It's just some people ask, but we're on all of them. So
All of them.
Generation Dragons.
Generation Dragons. GameBot Games presents Generation Dragons, and we're already at episode 25. We've been doing this for 25 weeks, Steve.
Do you think we would have done this without COVID?
Probably not. And I'm thinking about episode 25, so we're halfway through a year, technically speaking, right?
We've hit it every week but once.
About once.
So,
but then we also caught up, I think, because we ended up not recording.
Well, we did like a 2-in-1 week kind of thing.
Yeah, this is true.
So
yeah, good to see you, Steve. I'm glad you're here.
In person.
In person.
Yeah.
We recorded last time at your house, this time at my house. We're both double vaxxed. High five. Yeah. Keeping us healthy. So, Steve, we want to talk about, we got a few items that we wanted to talk about today.
Well, the first thing I wanted to bring up was the Netflix PlayStation.
Yes.
Because that caught me off guard. I didn't see it anywhere else, and I was just reading today. I'm like, what? Really?
I mean,
That's interesting.
It makes sense, though, right? Like, I only mean it makes sense because Netflix wants to get into gaming. PlayStation needs, and we talked about this I think we're probably like 5 or 6 episodes back, but where PlayStation is in comparison to Xbox. PlayStation doesn't have the servers. They don't have the cloud backing.
Yeah.
I mean,
and if this is killing it for Xbox, so like it's the best idea they've had.
Yeah, exactly. If you look at sales, I think
Game Pass, in case anyone's not sure what we're talking about.
In the past, I'm pretty sure I got to triple check it, but in June was the best sales for Xbox since 2011, and they came up on top. Like Xbox, yeah. So like, but that's pretty impressive, right? And they are putting Game Pass as part of it. So I think Netflix. I mean, people have it's already the basis there. They have the server capabilities. They know how to work streaming. Now, the question is it going to be Netflix branded? Is it going to be PlayStation branded? Is it going to be...
They'd have to have both because people won't know what it is.
But yeah, so that's it. How do you think they're going to do it? Is it going to be just
Netflix presents, just like GameBot Games presents? I don't know. Just like there has to be a way to tie it together, right? So
what I'm thinking though, and that's what I mean. But like, do you think it's going to be every TV has Netflix, man? You can get Netflix on anything. So is it just going to be an extra that you plug into?
I think so. It's the smartest way to do it. You already have the user base out there, and if they can get into that, because Xbox is already putting out devices sort of like Chromecast, working on it.
Yeah.
Where you could you buy this and you let the cloud do all the computing, and you just get a controller and this adapter.
Right. So the only thing I'm thinking of with that is with Netflix
Android
is my thought is Netflix is on everything. It's on Switch. No, it's not on Switch. It's on Wii U. It's on Xbox. So will Xbox allow for Netflix PlayStation on their system?
I don't see why they'd stop it, right? Because
I guess because they're more open.
They've always been open with stuff like that, but they can, you can play this game on Xbox too, kind of thing, right?
Yeah, but so that would be interesting to see. And again, this is all rumor mill, right?
Yeah.
I just saw a post that Netflix is more focused on mobile games versus anything because Netflix has their own studios coming up, just like Amazon, right? So that's kind of the idea.
So where I think we're all moving to eventually is just whatever game you want. It doesn't matter who you buy it from. You can play it on anything you have.
Yeah, it's now going to be game based versus
it was OS before.
Yeah, and that's where I'm. So I think this is where you and I always have that conversation about it. I really like the Steam Deck. I think the Steam Deck is going to be sweet. I think it's really
does
cool.
Look pretty awesome.
However, because it's PC based. And it's Steam based, it runs the Steam OS. It's Linux, you could potentially put on Windows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You could run there's probably workarounds where you can run xCloud or Game Pass on it. My concern and it's always my concern, is that I don't have a physical copy. So like I wouldn't buy it.
So I'm right there with you, right? Because when I first read about it, I'm like, why do I need my Switch anymore? This does everything except first-party Nintendo games. But there's that. I hate not having physical copies. I know I'm old for that, but this is mine. you know?
Yeah.
Let me play it 10 years from now. I don't want to see it off your servers. If I have some inkling to play Halo, Combat Evolved, I don't want to have to buy it for the 18th time like it's a Nintendo game.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean, I'm loving the name of it. People are calling it the Gabe Gear. Because it looks like a Game Gear. Gabe Newell.
Kind of does, yeah. Just like a futuristic version.
I'm all for it, but no, again, and I just bought this beautiful laptop, so there's no reason for me to buy another handheld.
How much do you think it's going to go for? I didn't really pry into that.
Oh man, I did look at it. So I know the American prices are coming up in my brain for some reason, but the most expensive one is
so you just triple it, you'll get the Canadian price.
$649. I think the Canadian most expensive one is $899 because I looked it up.
So there's different models.
Yeah, yeah, and
I'm assuming it
goes 64 gig SSD, then 256, then 512, but the 512 has like the same hard drive similar to what's in the PlayStation, I think it is, the NVMe or whatever. So it's a faster processor.
Yeah, I was just going to say, well, faster.
You're faster hard drive, SSD.
But is it, can you upgrade it? Can you swap these pieces out like it was a PC?
No, that's what it is.
So if you buy 64, you're stuck with that.
Yeah, you can buy memory cards, you can plug memory cards into it and stuff like that. But yeah, then...
But it's not expandable natively?
No. But again, I guess 64 gig, why would you buy a 64 gig when, Cyberpunk's 110 gigs or Call of Duty is 100 gigs?
I would never buy one that small, right? Unless it was given to me.
Yeah. I mean, the 64 gig is cool and all.
You're limited, though, unless you buy more memory.
Yeah, and you're playing indie games, or you're playing, like, single A games or double A games. You're not playing triple A bangers out there, right? But yeah, I mean... I know we kind of went off track here, but it kind of looped us back in.
No, it all kind of goes right together,
but
the way things are moving.
So, that's exactly. I mean, for me, even the Netflix and PlayStation, I think it's cool. I know PlayStation needs it. We've talked about it. They need something that brings them into the cloud more so than PlayStation Now.
Yeah.
Again, I like PlayStation Now. What they need to do... I like the concept of PlayStation Now. I don't have it. But what I think they need to do is take what they've done with PlayStation Now and do similar to what Xbox has done. Make people, allow people to download the game and stream it, because it's great. I like that you can stream the game with PlayStation Now. I like that as a cool concept. I think that's cool. Xbox kind of had that possibility. You can't stream anything from Game Pass. You just download it.
You can stream from your Xbox. I've already done that.
But that's what I'm saying. So like PlayStation Now, you don't have to download the game onto your PlayStation.
So you don't have to have it first, is what you're saying. But you have the option, if you look when you're playing your cloud games, it's actually been a while since I played, but I'm pretty sure it says stream from your console or stream from...
No, I know, but what I'm saying is, so it has to be installed on your console, or it's in the cloud, right?
Yeah.
But if I recall correctly, now, I may be completely wrong, and someone may tell me I'm wrong, which is cool. With PlayStation Now, I believe you can just stream the PlayStation games on your PlayStation. It's not like you're playing your play.
You mean like instant?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's not great. But now that, again, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm looking at you, Jared, because you probably correct me here. But I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
Okay. I kind of thought Xbox was already there,
but like they do. So like Xbox does it via xCloud on like your laptop, phone, laptop, whatever, right? But it doesn't do it on the Xbox. Like I can go out, turn on my Series X, and then go stream Battletoads, right? I have to download Battletoads and then play it.
Okay, I thought you could do either or.
But maybe, I mean, if we can, I've never seen it.
I just seem to remember when they kind of went mainstream with the app, then I looked at it and I had both options.
So you can do it on your phone, like if you got. So
on another device is what you're making.
Yeah. So like you can stream your Xbox from your phone, but you can't stream a game on your Xbox on your Xbox. You know what I'm saying?
Xbox?
You can't do. You've got a cloud. Here's up in the cloud on Game Pass. You can't just stream it down. Kind of like what Google is, like with Stadia.
Yeah. You mean it has to be downloaded
installed
somewhere.
and downloaded into your system.
Unless you're playing it on a mobile.
Yeah, unless you're playing it on mobile.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm talking strictly Xbox. Okay, xCloud itself is
okay, I lost you at the beginning there. I see what you're saying now.
Now, talking about Netflix, we've got two of our most looking forward to shows coming out.
I cannot wait for either. All right, so
Masters of the Universe is the end of this week, which is the 23rd, which we probably end up won't. This may not get up there before then, but if you'll get our impressions likely after
yeah,
on
the next episode for sure.
But yeah, so I know we kind of had a decent discussion last time about it. Thoughts? What are you excited for? What do you think?
To be honest, I kind of don't want to watch it because I have pre-ordered Castle Grayskull, which a lot of people already have, and I have a bunch of the figures, and I was going to do like with the kid, this big unboxing, watch He-Man and all that. But it's okay. I'll watch it before they do, and then I'll watch it again, and I'll get them to open up Castle Grayskull and all this kind of stuff. So I'm trying to relive that memory as a kid that I missed out on since well, we talked about that story before. My brother got it. I didn't. So.
Yeah. Are you? Do you think you're getting yourself too hyped up for it, or do you think?
Oh, big time! Yeah. I'm reading everything. Just like you said before, I'm reading things that are good or bad, and it gets me going one way, and then I come back to reading something else, and I still haven't read the comics, which are sitting there and eating at me. And to be honest, I've just been busy and haven't had enough time because I want to read through them to focus on them for like an hour or two. Go through those and even the Transformer comics, but. I think I have expectations up to here for the show, especially with Kevin Smith being the front runner, Mark Hamill being Skeletor. Like, man, what about you?
No, I'm really excited for Masters of the Universe. I mean, I didn't watch it when I was a kid. I mean, I know He-Man. I know, like, I played with the toys and all that stuff. I never watched it as a kid because it was like
before your time,
came and done before I was even born type thing. So. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm really looking forward to it. I like the art style. Kind of reminds me of the way they drew Castlevania, like the anime-ish.
Yeah, kind of.
Right? Like, so I'm really looking forward to that. Again, Kevin Smith, I freaking love the guy. So, like, I'm really looking forward to it. I always like the way he writes stuff. It aligns with the way, with everything. So, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be character changes. There's going to be role changes and all that stuff. It's going to be impactful for some people, I'm sure.
I'm one of them for a few of them. I don't like it when you change my childhood heroes. So
it's going to be
add new ones.
It's going to be damaging to some, but no, I mean, for me, it's like I'm looking forward to it. But again, I don't have anything, like, I don't have a backup of, like, this is the way it should be.
So you're going into it wide open with no previous conceptions on how the Masters of the Universe is that double entendre? Should be.
Yeah.
Right? So to you, this is all new. And whatever it is. So, did you watch the 2000 series? 2001, I think it was, or 2002?
I mean, I may have watched here and there, but never.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was done really well. Unfortunately, it fell out after the third season because it was supposed to tie everything back together.
Yeah, okay.
And I had thought that maybe it was picking up from where that left off. I was hoping.
Right.
But I think it's more following up from where the original went, but I'm not positive. I need to double check all that.
That's so like from reading the the comics that have come out. That came out last week, the Revelations comic. Mm-hmm. It's the prequel to the show, which was I'm like, why is it only coming out a week before? And there's supposed to be 4 issues. But anyways, that's another story. But then it's like, okay, I'm reading this. I know who these characters are, but the comic doesn't build up well for people who don't really know who the characters are. So, like, you know who Adam is, He-Man. They kind of give that idea. But like, if you're going in blind and you read that comic, even I was like, I don't know what the shit is this, right?
Yeah.
So when you said like with Grayskull, no.
Castle Grayskull?
Yeah, no.
King Grayskull?
King Grayskull?
That's where the power originated.
Yeah. So King Grayskull. They're showing him in the comic, so when you what you're saying of like they've changed character design and all that stuff of him, right? I didn't know what he looked like until you sent me the toy, and I was like, oh, okay,
yeah.
That's
so there's even a whole episode of that, and it was done really well. The whole thing was about believing in yourself, because he felt like he was going to fail, dropping his kingdom down, and Orko was around back then, or at least one of his race. I can't remember who it was exactly, but they basically put him on a journey to make him realize. The sword is not the power. The castle, you're the power.
Yeah. Like, so it's kind of cool. Like they do it that way in the comic, and it like, spoilers if you haven't read the comic, and I know you're about to read it, but I won't go too deep into it. But it's just like Adam's father, the king, becomes sick, so they send Adam back to the past to find out
I did read
how,
about the time traveling, and I
right.
tried to stop because I didn't want to get into it too deep.
But so find out how they can cure the sickness.
King Randor?
Yeah.
So maybe it is taken out after the newer series. I know the sorceress is bit by King Hiss, and she's slowly dying because she's poisoned in the cartoon from 2001.
Okay, so they don't reference that, but so
okay, I was like maybe that's why Randor is sick, but I
yeah,
can't remember if he
Randor's
got bit or what.
But that's it. So they talk about King Grayskull and his power, and then it was like his son ends up dying from the bite or whatever the race that makes
Snake Man?
Yeah, I think it was.
There's three factions. There's the Horde, the Snake Man, and then everyone else on Eternia, like Skeletor and everyone.
Yeah. So so they go into that. So like it's kind of, I mean, I get it, and it shows just like the power transfer, which is cool. Like I think that's a cool concept. But again, I don't have the attachment to.
Yeah,
so I don't know what that's like. Right?
It completely changed him, right? It looks like he's black now, where he was white guy before, and Adam's supposed to be his direct descendant. So I don't know how they're going to change the story with that. But in the original, I shouldn't say the original because King Grayskull really wasn't in any of the cartoons until the 2000 animated one.
Oh, okay.
And back then the castle was all ivory and good, and the fight is actually what gives the moat around it because he blocks Horde Prime from blasting and just. But he ends up giving his life for it, right? And so his power as he's dying, he gives to all the elders to protect it. And then when the power is needed again, it can be called upon by using the sword. And so when it's needed again, Sorcerer starts calling out to Adam because he's a descent of King Grayskull, and he's able to wield the power.
Yeah, so I wonder, I mean, look at freaking Loki and all the other, Marvel. Maybe it's just, this is the same universe but alternate universe at the same time.
So they're doing a lot of that.
And I'm wondering that could be it too, right? Like you're saying, because they don't explain, they explain how the sword gets the power, but they don't explain how Adam becomes He-Man, right? Mm-hmm. So then again, this is in the comics. So
it's all magic. And you mean how he becomes from the bumbling kid to...
right, so you're saying he's direct, from the old stuff, he's a direct descendant of King Grayskull, but then in the comic, clearly he's not a direct descendant, or if he is, what I'm saying is he's from a different universe. So it's Adam / He-Man going through time travel.
I'm getting tired of the whole multiverse thing, but I kind of like it too. I like the idea that there's so many possibilities and it could be so many different ways.
So and that's what that's kind of what I'm thinking is what they're going to lean to. And then Kevin Smith would be a person who would be good at running that because he's very much into that kind of stuff.
So one thing I don't know if they'll touch on, or if they've just dropped it, but from the original He-Man, so Prince Adam and his twin sister, Dora, who becomes She-Ra, were I can't remember her name right now, but King Randor and his wife, who's from Earth, son and daughter. So she's actually an astronaut that gets flipped in through some vortex space-time thing and is pulled into Eternia and crash lands there. She's trapped there. Yeah. She ends up meeting King Randor before he was king, and when they fall in love, and then they had the kids, and so they're actually half human and half Eternian.
Yeah. So again, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's a multiverse play. Mm-hmm. So that way, if they do make a bunch of changes, it will upset hardcore fans to an extent, but then it also allows it that it's not replacing it.
Yeah. So I actually am a lot more open to that idea than. And even then, it's He-Man. I'd probably still like it anyway. Even if it went against everything and it changed every character and replaced them or made them different, I would still probably watch it. But I would be a lot less resistance. Okay, this is like Earth 2, Earth 3, Eternia 5. One thing, it's not related to this. Did you ever watch the He-Man She-Ra Christmas special?
No.
You'll have to watch it with the kids.
No, I'll have to
they go back to Earth. For a Christmas tree, because they're trying to teach the people of Eternia what Christmas is all about. Yeah, so.
Good stuff.
Actually, not for a Christmas tree, but you'd have to watch it.
And then the Transformers is the following week.
Oh, can't wait.
And talking again, another multiverse travel.
I remember, how the heck are they going to do that? Galvatron's there, Megatron's there, other Megatron's there, Primal's there, Prime's there. Ravage is there.
I'm looking forward to that the most. Yeah, actually, I think there's two.
But future Ravage.
Yeah.
So is it going to show both of them? Like, is it going to show the Ravage that couldn't talk and the Ravage that can in the future?
Yeah.
Same character.
Yeah, well, that's
actually he did talk a couple times in the show, but only when he was a tape and he's playing back something.
Oh yeah. But then and I think about it too. It's like, so we were talking about this. I think we talked about it in one of our first episodes where the comic designs and the cartoon designs are taken from the toys, very much so, right? And like if they don't have, what was it? Yeah, no, it was in the comics. If they don't have a design for them specifically, if it's attached to something else, they just took the toy design of whatever the character may be. So, I know the toys and I know the Netflix series and the comic stuff, the ongoing comics, aren't tied together. At least if they are, they're not really reflecting that. But then the toys kind of bring them together, which is kind of interesting, right? So, like, I wonder, because, I mean, you've been reading the Transformers comics, right?
Yeah, behind the last few, but yeah.
But, like, Galvatron's in there with Megatron.
Yeah.
Right? So he's tied in that way, which is, they don't explain it. They don't explain how those two are separate, but then also the newer comics are more based, this is pre, Unicron changing Galvatron and all that stuff, right? Like,
but I'd like to see how the Golden Disc is played.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah.
You remember where it came from, right? Because you watched Beast Wars. You might be too young.
Yes. No, I don't remember actually.
Voyager space probes.
Oh yeah, that's
the golden discs on them.
Yeah.
And so Megatron back in the day engraved them with stuff to get later, in down the future in case they failed or something. Which I don't get because the timeline doesn't line up. I have to look into that. Voyagers were launched in the 70s. Transformers didn't wake up until the 80s. So.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at it, like if you go back to.
Well, they could go to space like that and manipulate it in space. And,
yeah, no, well, that's it. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I have no speculations on that show because I have no idea how or where things are going to come. So the trailers, I'm excited for, but
I haven't looked as closely at the Transformers stuff online, like with He-Man, and I should have been doing the same with He-Man, to be frank. I kind of read so much on He-Man, I went down different paths, so you got my mind going one way or the other, excited, disappointed, hopeful, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I didn't do the same with Transformers. I should have just kind of wait for it to come out, then see, then judge.
Yeah, because however, I mean, with Transformers, we've watched it. This is the third in the series, right?
Yeah.
So you know what's kind of coming. You know how the animation is. You know how everything is. So it's not quite the same as it was with He-Man, because He-Man's new. It's been close to 20 years since it came out last, right? So and then before
crazy,
that, it's 20 years before that, right? It's going on for almost 40 years, right?
God, how old am I getting?
Exactly, Steve. Exactly, man. And then going back, since we're talking about Transformers, the Ark.
Can't wait. You're getting it probably for me, I think.
Yeah, we'll see about that. We'll see. It should be this week. I gotta
Friday.
Reach out to EB and see what's going down.
The Ark Day.
The Ark. No, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's pretty sweet. It's expensive this time around. Prices have gone up quite a bit. I mean, it's the same price as the past Titan classes, but
seem to get them cheaper though. Like, I'm trying to remember the one I spent the most on. I want to say Metroplex, but that's not true. Devastator.
Yeah, but like $190. That's kind of where they sit right now.
This is a little bit more.
Yeah, it's $225 or $2 whatever, something like that. Yeah. So, no, yeah, that's it. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be sweet. It's definitely one that I would like to add as a Titan class. I think it's a cool concept. Obviously, I'm guessing I'm going to take a 99% sure that he's going to be in the Netflix series.
Yeah, you can already see it in the... I didn't catch it the first time, and then you pointed that out watching it. I'm like, oh yeah!
Yeah, well, even if you look at the art on the box, he's transformed, walking. I'm pretty sure he has Megatron in his hand. I don't know. I haven't looked close enough, but so it's like, yeah, he's got a... Clearly, there's something there, right? And why else would they release an Ark that transforms? Yeah, man. So the other big news is the trailer for Jackass. I mean, I think that's the biggest news of the week, man. Did you hear that? Well, I know. So, oh my God, who's the main guy in Jackass?
Johnny Knoxville.
He had brain tremor
From all the stunts he is doing?
Yeah, like just recently. Like I don't know
from
if it was,
the movie or
yeah, from filming the movie or something like that. So I don't know which one it is. It could be the bull one.
Dude, man, Jesus!
But they're so funny. I don't know. You got to watch the trailer. We watched it just before this.
Yeah, I think we gotta have a night.
Yeah.
To get silly, have some drinks, let the ladies and women do what they need to do, and we'll just laugh our asses off at that movie because I know Chris just thinks it's stupid, and I'll put it on because I love it.
Kathy and I were talking about it. She was like, "Oh man," I'm like, "You and I went to go see Jackass 3D in theaters, and I'm like, my favorite part of that movie is the very start when they do the dildo thing, and it's all and if you see it in 3D, they shoot dildos out of a cannon, and they're just flying through the air, but you can see
them coming
the
towards
depth.
you.
Yeah, like it's perfect. Well, like in this trailer, the dude's like, when Steve was like, yeah, when you get older, or no, it wasn't Steve, it was one of the other guys who was just like, when you get older, we thought it would be more mature, and then you just see the dude liking it. Oh, man. Yeah, good stuff.
Who's the big guy? They're like, I was watching Jackass my whole life, and he goes sliding down the slip and slide, maybe? I'd have to watch the trailer again, and his pants and everything are coming off, and I'm like, Jesus.
Good stuff. Good stuff. That was a short, sweet thing about Jackass. But so, what have you been playing, Steve? Anything?
Not really, to be honest. Mario Party a little bit with the kids.
Nice.
And I booted up a couple of games to play and then get distracted and pull away.
Nice.
So what about you?
Well, I haven't turned my PlayStation 5 on very much. When I do, I finished Ratchet & Clank, which was an excellent game.
I've heard.
We talked about it last week. I'll jump on and play Virtua Fighter 5 because I'm a big Virtua Fighter guy.
Yeah.
So Virtua Fighter 5, I was playing that because it was re-released and they did a remaster of PS4, and it was on the PlayStation Plus as a download thing. So that's what I've been playing on PS5. Xbox, jumping in and out of random games, mostly Mass Effect. Like jumping into Mass Effect and playing.
Actually, I forgot about that. I did play a game one night for a good solid like 3 hours with a buddy.
Oh yeah, what?
I went back to
Division.
No, that actually is a good guess. Went back to what's the other looter shooter they liked?
Destiny.
No, Outriders.
Outriders.
There we
Nice.
go.
Nice.
How did I not remember that? I really enjoy the game.
Nice. No, so it's when I turn on my Xbox, it's I've been playing Mass Effect and Psychonauts because I'm excited for Psychonauts 2. Mm-hmm. I always wanted to play Psychonauts back on the original Xbox.
Yeah.
Never did. So I'm like, you know what? I'll give it a try. I've always liked Double Fine stuff, so I'm looking forward to Psychonauts 2 because it comes out next month. I think it's out in August. And then mostly my Switch. I mean, I was playing Mario Golf. Mario Golf has been excellent. Excellent. It's a good Mario Golf. And then Skyward Sword.
That's what I want to play.
And I like it. Give me a second, Steve. You can just entertain our people, but.
I think I did a good job.
Yeah, good. Thanks, Steve. I just had to run over and get my my Joy-Cons that I stood in line for, and spent way too much money on Zelda stuff. But yeah, no, I'm liking it. I haven't tried the motion controls yet. I've been just using the button controls.
And that's how I want to play it.
It's not bad. So you're using your right joystick, right, as your sword. That's your sword. So it controls okay. It's definitely better than the Wii controls.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be hard to move around, though. I was thinking, because you don't have both thumbsticks.
So yes, you do, but there's more buttons to press. So like to move the camera,
So it's like using an N64 controller.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So again, it's not. It could have been better, but the way the game itself was built, and this is when we talked about it when it got announced, like the way the game itself is built, you can't. There's too much. When you've got bad guys going like this and like this and like this,
yeah,
there's no way they're not going to. How are you going to remap how you control stuff?
So they're kind of limited with.
Yeah, exactly right. Well, no, I mean it's good. It looks pretty. It's a pretty game. I've always liked Skyward Sword. It's probably, I wouldn't say it ranks up there for me. I think it's more of like when I played it, how I played it, that type of thing. Because like it came out 10 years ago.
Has it really been that long?
Maybe even longer.
Man,
I played it when I lived at Kathy's parents' place.
I think I was at EV still.
Yeah, you would have been. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think I got a manager copy, and I could be wrong. I might be getting it mixed up. Which one was on both the Switch and the Wii? I mean, the Cube and the Wii.
Twilight Princess.
Twilight. Okay, that's what I'm thinking of. And I remember choosing Twilight Princess for the Wii because it was brand new.
Yeah.
And thinking, shit, I should have got it for the GameCube.
Yep. Yeah. No, that's why I was lucky enough to my buddy Jordan, who sold me his Twilight Princess on the GameCube for a decent price. So, but yes, the Skyward Sword. I mean, it's cool because you can really see how they pulled from Skyward Sword for Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Like just even like the collecting of stuff. Right.
What game do you like playing better?
Breath of the Wild,
Gameplay
Skyward Sword.
Yeah.
Oh no, Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
But okay,
because of the gameplay.
So if you were to take, Breath of the Wild is almost too open world for me. Because I like my stuff more linear. Like I want to just go to the point, right? Like I like the option to go.
Which is why I couldn't get back into Mass Effect Andromeda. I just got tired of all the. I know that's off topic, but you're talking about playing it. I tried because I love Mass Effect games, and I just got tired of all the make work quests and things that you don't have to do, but I just always felt like I had to.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but that's exactly that. So like with Breath of the Wild, like I like Breath of the Wild. Probably my favorite, or one of my favorite Zelda games. Actually, Wind Waker is my favorite Zelda game, but Breath of the Wild is one of my favorite. However, it's so open world. I know I missed so many things in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I know there's so much. I have the strategy guide. The strategy guide for Breath of the Wild is this big, and the strategy guide for Skyward Sword is this big, right? So like that. But with Skyward Sword, if it wasn't for the controls, I would like it. I'm not going to say I like it more than Breath of the Wild, but I would like it more if it was button pressing versus the sword swiping and stuff like that. But I like Breath of the Wild more so.
Okay.
But also you can see it, right? They massaged everything out and all that.
I gotta play though Skyward Sword. It's one of the ones I didn't really play because I didn't like the
the motion controls.
And played almost every Zelda game except for a few, maybe if that. And that's one of the big ones.
And the other one that I'm thinking of too that's coming around is I'm not playing, but looking forward to is Flight Simulator on the Xbox.
That's soon.
That's next week,
yeah,
the 29th, I think it is. So looking forward to that one because I played it on the PC a little bit. It's a beautiful game, so I'm really looking forward to playing it on the big TV.
Can you play? Do you have a flight stick?
I don't. No. I'll have to try.
Should lent you mine.
Yeah, I'll have to try it. But that's it. That's it, man. That's it. One other question, Steve, before we wrap all this stuff up. I know we talked about your Raspberry.
Oh, with the
Pi 4.
With the arcade.
Yeah.
So I actually play that more than anything lately, just because they're quick games usually. I just jump in between things. I have 15 minutes,
Yeah.
And then we've had a lot of. I hate to say there's COVID, but we've had a lot of family over recently, and the kids that come over, and like Brian was over with his kids too. And they jump on that and stuff, and they love it. So, but yeah, it's great. I actually upgraded it again just recently, but just all the builds and everything I just updated. Okay. And I always check all the time for new patches for the Dolphin emulators or anything that'll play N64 and things like that. But yeah, it's doing all right. There's still a couple of systems I can't get to play just because there's emulators not for them or that don't work right.
Right, okay.
But as it is, as a 16-bit system or lower, even some 32-bit, it's all right. It's really good for 16-bit, really good for arcade, really good for anything below.
Do you find everything loads faster? Is that what really... No,
I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have done it again. Pi 4 versus Pi 3, for what I want it for, it does the exact same thing.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that was my question, because I was...
Thinking about upgrading? No.
Yeah.
It's not worth the effort and the money.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'll tell you if I can ever get N64 up and running nice, and if you can, then yeah, let's get a hard drive and let's get a Pi 4.
Well,
or man, you could just use a PC.
Yeah.
You probably have an old PC around. If you don't, I'm like, they're not hard to find.
No, but even but we were talking about this too. I ran N64 games on the Pi 3.
Yeah, choppy.
0.5. But
sometimes,
but
some are playable.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
So,
but it's nice when you see the frame, the FPS, and stuff like that.
yeah,
frame rate
so I got some games to play better
right.
that I couldn't get to play for, and there's a few games that I couldn't get to play on. That I couldn't get to play on the Pi 3. That I was able to on the Pi 4. It just seemed to work.
Oh, okay.
Same emulator, but it just seemed to work.
Yeah.
But it's so small, the number, that it's not worth it.
Yeah. No, that would be it. Like if the Sega Saturn games worked, no problem, or like whatever PlayStation 1 and 64 games worked, no problem, then that would be where I would look at it. But like you said, if the emulators aren't there,
I almost
work. So
before I bought the Pi 3 and did that project, I was just going to use an OG Xbox because I had a few of them.
Yeah.
And I did mod one of and it plays games great. It's just the hard disk space isn't that big.
Yeah.
And that, which I'm probably could get around. You probably use an adapter to read USB, which is how I modded it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, you could do that with even the. Technically, you could probably do that with those micros, right? Not the micros, but like the minis, the classics.
Oh yeah. I've already done that with all my minis. So I was like, what? I was thinking a Game Boy Micro. You're using that as a.
Oh man, this is the Game Gear. Just throw it on one of these bad boys. Just. Anywho, Steve. Well, again, as always, it's a pleasure. Nice to see you again in person,
dude. Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah, you can't say cheers without taking a sip before you put it down, right?
Right. I almost did, and I hesitated. Came back, but yeah, it's good to do this in person.
Yeah.
We went longer than we usually do lately when trying to tighten them up. But our last episode is really long, and this one we got on a roll.
Yeah, hey, you know what? That's fine. If people want to listen to us to the end, we appreciate it. Everyone, again, if you've made it this far, you probably already liked and are subscribed to our videos. But if you haven't, like and subscribe, Steve,
keep collecting,
keep gaming,
stay safe.